Hello, good day. My name is Ibrahim Abdelkader Abucha, and here are the name of my group members. We are going to talk about the oil industry. Introduction to oil. Oil is considered among the world's most valuable resources since the mid-1950s. The industry plays a critical role in driving the global economy. Petroleum is used for numerous products, mainly for supplying energy to power industries and providing fuels for vehicles and airplanes. The process and systems involved in producing and distributing oil and gas are highly complex. So the government impact on industry, first of all, complex. The relations among states and multinationals to view episodes of collaborations and rivalry. Contradictory. The state and multinationals need one another. Then for the contingent, the exact connection among states and multinationals relies upon a condition. The last one, changeable. The connection between states and multinationals are dynamic. Value chain of the oil and gas industry. First of all, upstream. Upstream is the exploration and production. It involves the searching of oil and getting hydrocarbons on the ground and drilling and exploring wells. For midstream, midstream entails the transportation, storage, and processing oil and gas. Once resources are recovered, it is transported to a refinery, which is in different geographical regions. Downstream refers to the filtering of raw materials obtained during the upstream phase. It means refining the crude oil and purifying natural gas. So the key features of oil and gas industry are technology intensive. Oil and gas is one of the most important, complex, and technological driven in global industries. Capital intensive. The entire oil and gas industry require much more capital than labor to provide adequate returns on investment. A mix of private and state-owned firms. State has more power than MNCs. Research and development. It is responsible for research and development centers in promoting capacity building and maximizing local value addition. So this chart shows the biggest oil and gas companies in 2018. First of all, Sinopec, which is from China. It has $420 billion. Second, Royal Dutch Shell. It has $338 billion. Saudi Aramco has $356 billion, and PetroChina has $342 billion. BP, which is known as British Petroleum or Beyond Petrol, has $298 billion. For ExxonMobil, has $279 billion. Total has the $209 billion. Chevron has $158 billion. Gazprom from Russia, it has $113 billion. And Petrobras, the last one is from Brazil, it has $95 billion. Thank you. So I'll hand it over to my colleague, Archer.
Thank you, Ibrahim. My name is Asha, and today I will talk about challenges. First, fluctuation in price. There was a spike in oil price after attack on Saudi oil fields. 5% of global supply was knocked out, and oil price ended up almost 15% higher in September. Second, reduction in oil costs and competition. This challenge occurs in sustainable energy markets is developing, so fluctuation in price as well as a inflationary in expense in raw material and wages is continuing. For the third one, environmental pollution. The government of New York City against BP, Chevron, ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, and also Royal Dutch Shell, because they blame them as they produce 11% of global warming pollution through their gas and oil, which they have sold over the years. Here's to the end of my part, and I will hand to my colleague Chachai to continue about the challenges.
Thank you, Asha. Furthermore, about challenges. Political instability. Our positions, Saudi Aramco, one of the biggest oil company in the world. Saudi Aramco planned to share their IPO this year, but the proposal has been held because of drone attack. The company's manufacturing was damaged about 50%, contribute to the fluctuations of oil price in many countries. Like in the USA, oil price was increased to 15%. Saudi Aramco lost a lot of money, not only expense for repair, but also operating profit. Excellent challenge. I'll give you an example of BP company. Deepwater Horizon in Mexico Gulf was a massive accident in oil industry. 11 workers died and oil pollution caused environment disaster. The accident charged BP company more than 49 billion pounds and also ruined its reputation. Difficulty in extractions. Oil is, as you can see, oil is much more harder to get out of the ground while demand is higher than supply. Oil companies have to increase productivity in order to respond to needs. Nevertheless, oil and gas have been extracting from the outlying locations in the oceans, so transport process takes a lot of time, different from easy accessibility areas like desert. So transport companies have to develop management procedure in order to transfer these products from offshore locations to factories more efficiently. And the investments of additional interstate pipeline is essential for shipping these products to destination. That's the end of my part. Let me introduce Lian Chu to talk about strategy.
Hi, I'm Zhu. I'm going to talk about strategies with Dongyang. OPEC is an exporting country organization, such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Nigeria. They are all members of OPEC. OPEC can change the price of oil to let oil be a balance, and also OPEC can change the price. If OPEC reduce at the time of production, and the United States will increase the production to limit OPEC. And now we talk about innovation. And technology is very important for the oil industry. And for example, oil in Kazakhstan is very difficult to mine. And there is a company which is Galaxy, and Galaxy is in Texas and Mexico. The company has a new technology which is remove the hydrocarbons from rocket to the ground, just like directional drilling, and it can solve the problem of difficult oil extraction. The last part I will talk about corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is very important for oil companies, and such as British Petroleum, Shell, and Total, and they will do something to protect the environment, just like reduce the CO2 and emission and helping people to achieve a good life. Next, Hu Dongyang will explain.
Thank you, Lynch. My name is Dongyang. I will going to continue talking about the strategy. Firstly, the managing risk through organization inspection. China National Offshore Oil Corporation Petroleum Europe Limited order for the shutdown at North Sea installation for repair after an inspection review a defect. And second, the diversification. With the intense competition, there is diversification. The oil industry, such as British Petroleum and the Shell, are invested into new focus areas, such as oil and low carbon production. digital transformation, power and storage, and it also use of electricity for renewable energy sources such as solar and wind. Thirdly, the strategic alliance. With strategic alliance, the political is instability. The example of Saudi Aramco. The Saudi Aramco has a strategic alliance with the United States. The President Trump got involved and promised to release more of its strategic reversed on the market to restore calm on the prices. So next part I will hand to my colleague Paris.
My name is Paraska Vikimpoka and I'll be taking you through the impacts. Liberalization of trade. So after the Saudi oil field attack, US stepped in and helped Saudi Arabia by sending 100 troops to ensure safety, security, and also promised to release more of its strategic reserves to restore the prices to a favorable amount. So this in a way helped to liberalize trade on the market. Market position. Total, British Petroleum and Shell have ventured into using electricity from getting it from renewable energy sources such as wind and solar, because the International Energy Agency estimates that renewable sources will meet 30% of power demand by 2023. That's why these companies are venturing into diversifying into different sectors in order to ensure they keep up with market trends, ensure their position on the market, and stay in competition. Environmental protection. Shell, Total, ensuring that through their corporate social responsibility, the following trends that ensure environmental awareness. Shell has introduced a low carbon transition, which is environmental friendly process that provides clean and convenient energy, and Total emphasizes that it ensures that it's committed to protecting the environment through controlling the operations that have an impact on their market. Let's go to the next point. Favorable market prices. Through collaboration with other parties such as OPEC, has ensured fair trade balances in controlling fluctuations. As we have that, the OPEC General Secretary Mohammed Baknido discusses that with the OPEC World Outlook, he discusses that the market prices for oil and gas will drop to 1% by 2040, but they will still, as oil will remain a key source. So with this insurance assurance, I'll say, it enables that these multinationals will keep following within trade and keep producing more oil and distribute crude oil and gas. Safety against health risks. The health of the local community is really emphasized. That's why, for example, we have the China National Offshore Corporation Petroleum Limited Europe had a temporary shutdown where it carried inspections, and they realized there was a defect. So in that way, they repaired and ensured that the workers, the installation itself, and the environment were safe. The other point that we have also is that Total ensures that safety is the cornerstone of their operational efficiency. So these companies ensure that safety is very valuable to the people and also to the company itself. We have favorable access to getting oil. We have had techniques that have been introduced, for example, the directional drilling that is used by Galex Energy Corporation in 2017, where they had to drill fossil fuels from the ground. And also we have British Petroleum using the LOSA enhanced technology development that's used to drill oil from the Clear Ridge in the UK zone at the North Sea. The other points are, we're going to talk about our narration from how we have followed from the challenges to the strategies and to the impact. Fluctuation in prices we discussed, and we thought that in a way to control the prices on the market, the only way is to have a collaboration with OPEC. OPEC has been around for a number of years, for example in countries like Venezuela and Nigeria, and it has been collaborating with these countries in trying to cut the expenses, in controlling the costs, and also helping out with the fluctuation of the prices, keeping them on a favorable pace for these industries to continue in trade, having fair trade balances. Thus, in that way, it ensuring market prices. Reduction in oil costs. Consumers actually demanding costs in oil. So in this way, it's been a challenge for the oil multinationals. For example, Shell and Total have decided another different way to diversify into different ventures, especially in using electricity that's going from renewable energy resources such as wind and solar. In this way, they are ensuring the market position and also keeping up with market trends and staying in competition. Environmental pollution is in line with corporate social responsibility. The companies are ensuring that in their processes they are environmental friendly, ensuring that they have environmental protection and are very aware of the consequences and effects of their processes. So ensuring that we have clean and convenient energy. Political instability. With the US and Iran tensions, we, in a way to solve such intensity between those countries, Saudi Arabia had USA to back it up. So after the attack, US stepped in, decided to release more of its strategic reserves, thus ensuring liberalization of trade. Because after that there was a fluctuation in prices, but after US stepped in, it was restored. Accidents. So accidents are highly risky. This can be controlled, and once they happen, they really cause a very huge explosion. In that way, these companies have tried to carry out inspections, and after the inspections are done, they do the repairments to ensure safety against health risks and also for the environment. Difficulty in extraction. Especially at the extraction point, drilling the oil can take a number of years, as the oil industry is a long-term investment. It can take quite some time to get the oil from the ground. So companies are doing as much as possible. By 2017, the Galas Energy Corporation had the directional drilling. By 2018, the British Petroleum has also developed a technique called the LOSAL kind of technique that they're actually using at the Clare Ridge in the UK zone to access more oil. I'll go to the conclusions. For the conclusions, we see that the processes and systems actually capital intensive, high complex, and also involve technology. So for technology, they have to keep up, they have to adapt to any kind of advanced technology that keeps coming in, and that's quite a challenge though. And also it's capital intensive. Trying to innovate this kind of technology requires a lot of money, and it's highly complex in trying to solve out the challenges that affect the industry and also the environment. So it's capital intensive. The relationship we have, we can say it's, as my colleague said in the introduction, it's changeable, it's deep, but the way I will phrase it to my own kind of term, the multinationals and state have to depend on each other, because we may think the multinational has the power and then the other way around, the state will have the power. So in a way to have fair trade is for them to depend on each other. For the challenges, as we have seen, the main key challenges that we feel the industry is facing is extraction of oil at the very initial part, getting that oil from the ground. We need to ensure that the way we get is environmental friendly, and in that way we need to use advanced technology to get that kind of oil to ensure that it doesn't affect the climate and also the people, and also getting cleaner energy sources. So it's quite complex. We have fluctuations on the market. It's still a bit of a challenge these days, because that's how we have speculations on the market for the oil and gas prices. But in the way to collaborate with OPEC, that's helped in reducing the effects. Climate change activism is a growing concern challenge that has been happening to these industries, which in a way have affected the reputation. So for example, we have New York Times, where it published an article against these companies, saying that they are very responsible for the climate change and everything they're doing. So the companies are trying to corporate social responsibility to ensure that everything that they're doing is for the safety of the environment and also to keep on exporting and importing crude oil. For strategies, the strategies have been mentioned, but how are these strategies being put in place? These strategies, as we get to know, they're very technological, advanced, and also they require a lot of capital to carry out these inspections, to develop the kind of energy that we have to do in collaborating with OPEC, and also having strategic alliances. It may seem a bit complex, but these industries have pulled through to make these ends meet and also solve their challenges. For the impact, I feel, as the whole group together, we realize that the strategic choices on the global business environment are actually environmental awareness and the safety of the people. As long as there is safety of the people and environmental awareness that it doesn't really affect the environment and the climate and ensure people's safety, I feel there will be more consumption of the crude oil and gas and on the market, as long as they are very, very, very careful with the environmental awareness and safety of the people, and also the activities involved in the oil industry to ensure the smooth operation of the industry at large. So that's what we have for our presentation for the oil industry.